Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Amira bin Sulaiman with symmetric number B0918104003. I'm from course 3 BMM S1/2. Okay, today I want to present about audit on corrective maintenance and preventive maintenance for Chancellery Hall in UTEM. Okay, for introduction, University Technical Malaysia Melaka UTEM was founded on 1 December 2000. It was created pursuant to Section 20 of the University and University College Act 1971, Act 30 of the College University Technical Kebangsaan Malaysia Incorporated 2001, then known as College University Technical Kebangsaan Malaysia. On 1 February 2007, UTEM underwent a rebranding process as College University Technical Kebangsaan Malaysia was renamed as University Technical Malaysia Melaka. UTEM is the first technical university and the 14th public university to be listed in Malaysia. UTEM is a leader in the practice and application oriented teaching and learning approach for higher technical education in Malaysia. This is accordance with the government decision to cater for high technical skill human resource needs of Malaysia industry. Okay, in main campus, the first building significant is Chancellery Building, the signature building of UTEM, house the main administration of the university, which are Chancellery, Registrar, Bursary and Student Affairs Office (HEP). The building adopted traditionally Malay courtyard, house with the touch of modern design and high-tech materials such as glass and aluminium cladding. Not only that, the second building is the mosque. The mosque can accommodate up to 4,000 people at one time, which the area of 5,737 meter square. The mosque is equipped with administration room, reading room and main prayer hall. The mosque adopted Middle East style interior design with Asian touch on the exterior. And next is the Laman Hikmah Library. Laman Hikmah Library had a total collection of more than 115,000 titles, including 13 subscriber data titles. In order to suit with user needs, library provide service such as online renewal, inter-library loan, and user education program. Okay, for part audit report categories, the one building of main campus in UTEM that I use to conduct an audit on corrective and preventive maintenance require is a Chancellor Hall. Okay, for number one is building equipment. Okay, for a building equipment audit on corrective and preventive maintenance required for Chancellor Hall, consultant have justified the quality audit check such as test smoke and carbon monoxide detector of smoke or something else. Not only that, audit check can be test the fire alarm system, firing alarm system for detect the heat of the fire inside the hall. For an example, there are some firing of furniture inside the Chancellor Hall. The firing alarm system will respond by ringing the emergency bell. After that, by checking the condition and operation of toilet and shower. This audit check was to identify the safety of the facilities and the comfort of its user. Moreover, audit on corrective and preventive maintenance required for Chancellor Hall can be checked by checking the fire extinguisher and any firefighter equipment. It is because when the firing were detected by the firing alarm system, they can use the lecturer or a student can use the fire extinguisher and firefighter equipment to put out the fire. Next, check for garbage in storage area. Consultant can check in the storage area so that the cleanliness of storage area can be well maintained for future. Last but not least, check for evidence of insect or other pest infestation inside the Chancellor Hall. By checking the insect or the other pest infestation, university management can better maintain the quality of the Chancellor Hall. Okay, the number 2 is foundation and external work. Okay, for a foundation and external work, audit on corrective and preventive maintenance required for Chancellor Hall. Consultants have some checklists such as by ensure work areas and a walkway are clearly and visibly marked. Not only that, consultant can make sure that shelving is secure, organized and labeled. It is because when event or the exam inside the hall take place, the safety student can be provided and the Chancellor Hall keep in safe to use for another event or exam later. Furthermore, by inspect for safety hazards, including electrical hazards, slipping and tripping hazards, and falling hazards. When the safety of the Chancellor Hall keep in safe, the facilities, equipment, and building in safe hand of the university management. After that, by check for plan on the building and its foundation. Okay, the plans can increase the ecosystem on Malaysia and the world, so that with this environment is better preserved around the university. Consultant can also check the condition of the sidewalk, driveway, and parking lot. It is because the university management can repave or repaint more than half of the total number of off-road parking space contain designated open parking lots, repave or repaint more than half of the total number in and off-street parking lot of designated open parking space, and created convenient parking facilities on and off-street car park for the student and the lecturer to parking their own car and motorcycle. Last but not least, consultant can examine the condition of an fencing. It is because the hazard can be happen to the student and lecturer when they walk beside the fencing. So, consultant need to check it if it was safety or not in university. Okay, for the next point is external wall, doors and windows. Okay, for the external wall, doors and windows audit on corrective and preventive maintenance requirement for Chancellor Hall. Consultant can check door for proper operation and make sure that exits are not obstructed. It is because the door can quickly damage for use when students want to go in and out of the hall. This damaged door will also cause accident to its users when there are any crack in the door, rusty and difficult to open and close the door. After that, consultant can inspect door lock and closure. This is because the door lock does not work properly. Any thief in the hall can occur, such as the loss of chairs, tables, and even valuable equipment. Last but not least, look for broken window, door, and railings. The broken window and doors can cause hazard to the student and lecturer. Consultant need to check if a piece of glass, debris and splinter swept or not. Okay, for a last point for audit report categories is roof, ceiling and rainwater disposal. Okay, for a roof, ceiling and rainwater disposal audit on corrective and preventive maintenance requirement for Chancellor Hall, consultant need to examine the floor, ceiling and wall for evidence of deterioration. Not only that, they need to inspect the roof, cleaning it if necessary. After that, by check if the drain and gutter on the roof clean, testing down sprout and draining by flushing them with water. Moreover, inspect the stack of all roof penetration. Last but not least, consultant need to check any plant life growing on the roof to be removed so that the roof will be clean and safety for a long time. Okay, for a part of list of type of maintenance, there are some list of type of maintenance that can relate to this corrective and preventive maintenance requirements, such as maintenance time-based, risk-based maintenance, condition-based maintenance and predictive maintenance. Okay, for a maintenance time-based repair involve a replacement or renewal of a component in order to restore its reliability regardless of its state at a specific time, interval or use. In reality, the sole exception is emergency repairs, which cannot be planned due to its own existence to demand urgent treatment. Next, time-based maintenance is intended to shield us from failure to identify wearing components that have predictable intermediate time failure. For example, time-based servicing for a cleanliness around the Chancellor Hall, or that the initiative to determine the problem is just not worth it and a time-based replacement is cheaper and still reasonably successful. Okay, for a risk-based maintenance is used to devote the finite maintenance capital of our risk-based properties to those who bear the greater possibility risk of a default. Not only that, this will lead to more regular servicing and testing of machinery that has a higher risk and a very high risk of failure, such as projector, microphone and speaker inside hall. Consultants should have reduced the overall risk of failure through our plan more economically because we have successfully applied a risk-based maintenance process. Okay, for the next point is condition-based maintenance. Most forms of loss are not correlated with age. However, the majority of failure modes are alert that they are happening or are about to occur. If it can be shown that everything is in the early stage of failure, steps should be done to avoid it total failure and to prevent the effect of failure. Condition-based maintenance as a technique also search for physical signs of failure, such as the overall construction on the Chancellor Hall. Thinking of CBM in this manner, often only with spinning devices, reveal it wider user use without condition control technique. Okay, for a last point, for a list of type of maintenance, which is predictive maintenance, PDM. It was basically synonymous with the condition-based maintenance until recently when people spoke about predictive maintenance, PDM. But in our view, there is obviously an exception between predictive maintenance (PDM) and condition-based maintenance (CBM). In my opinion, with the rise of artificial intelligence, far lower costs for equipment, sensor, and machine learning, we consider predictive maintenance to be an expansion, a more sophisticated solution to CBM, with theoretically various process parameters from online sensor used to define whether the operating condition of our system in Chancellor Hall are reliable and failure oriented. Okay, for the next point is about life cycle cost of the replacement of equipment. Okay, the cost of life cycle assume that all expenses paid by university management of an asset are occurred over their lifetime. These expenses include original spending, further expenditure in the future, and recurrent annual cost without any recovery benefit. The definition encompasses many aspects of judgment. Total ownership costs are measured in the form of capital budgeting and reduced to their real value in order to assess estimated net cash flow. This knowledge is an essential component of the acquisition decision. In the acquisition sphere, the buying worker will analyze the average cost of ownership and position order for the least cost product in the general for installation of the Chancellor Hall service that can be used and repair and disposal. Okay, for the discussion part, consultant be able to identify the checklist of audit for the Chancellor Hall and be able to determine the various accidents that can occur when student and lecturer attend the hall, such as when the student passed by the fence and the fence fell on them, when the students were in the hall and the roof of the hall hit them, and the student fell off the stairs due to slippery and sandy floor. This accident often occur due to the low quality of equipment and facilities in the hall. Not only that, consultant also check in the environment outside the hall, such as crowd, parking, and so on. This also can be reason on the safety of the users threatened. University management should also be sensitive to the quality of facilities in the hall by having a quality schedule of equipment and facilities so that it can be repaired when it is time to break down and can no longer be used, such as the chairs, tables, and sofas inside hall. Not only that, university management also need to prepare the cost of installation of a new equipment, repairing facilities in Chancellor Hall, and disposal. Moreover, university management have to understand the concept of predictive maintenance (PDM) by predict which equipment that at the end of his expectancy, so that they can buy a new equipment in Chancellor Hall. Okay, for a conclusion and recommendation, there are some recommendation that can be improved to upgrade the Chancellor Hall by upgrade the floor from slippery to rough floor, using carpet or wooden surface so that accident can be avoided properly when walking and descending stairs. Not only that, by using quality chairs, tables, and sofas, it also can make the hazard decrease from time to time. Thus, the audit checklist need to be done wisely so that the facilities in Chancellor Hall can be used for student and lecturer. That's all from me for a topic of the audit on corrective maintenance and preventive maintenance. That's all from me. Thank you.